Now this, Democrat Senator, as we've been telling you, Chris Van Hollen, he traveled to El Salvador. He wanted to meet the MS-13 gang member being held in the mega prison. Watch.
So I asked the vice president if I could meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia. And he said, well, you need to make earlier provisions to go visit CCOT. He said he was not able to make that happen. I asked him if I came back next week, whether I'd be able to see Mr. Abrego Garcia. He said he couldn't promise that either. So I asked him if I could get on the phone, either video phone or just a phone, and talk to Mr. Abrego Garcia. He said he could not arrange that. So we have an unjust situation here.
Unjust. Okay. And then there's this. Judge Boasberg says he has found probable cause to hold Trump in contempt. This is for not returning that migrant sent to El Salvador. Former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Is that judicial activism?
Well, it really seems to be, because from the beginning it's been judicial activism, because the Supreme Court ruled this judge didn't even have jurisdiction to begin with, and he's trying to turn flights around and things like that, which are in the purview of the executive branch of President Trump to do, not a district judge to decide foreign policy. So he has overstepped his bounds here. Another thing that's kind of interesting about trying to hold President Trump or the administration in contempt, these are typically referred to the Department of Justice to prosecute. So President Trump's Department of Justice isn't going to prosecute something they don't think was contemptuous to begin with. So this judge is really kind of in a bind. I think one thing that President Trump may consider, he can pardon everyone involved and just take this issue off the table and get this judge out of the news and focus on other things. So it is quite interesting. It's not going to result in people being held in contempt.
But what do you think of a United States senator flying a couple of thousand miles to a prison in El Salvador, trying to bring back a guy who is accused, and his wife says he was a wife beater. He was caught in human trafficking. Thank you. And he was caught with mounds of cash. And we've got a senator going down there to bring him back. What's going on in this country?
Yeah, it really just seems like this performative stuff, and I think it's really backfiring on Senator Van Hollen, particularly with Patty Moore and yesterday at the White House, because Senator Van Hollen has talked about this gang member as a constituent. He was an illegal alien ordered to be deported, and the only reason he wasn't deported because a judge withheld deporting to El Salvador because of the danger there. Ironically, El Salvador is so much safer now, so those conditions don't even apply. So if they brought him back, they could just file a motion saying the conditions that made it unsafe don't apply anymore. So now he gets to go back to El Salvador. But Senator Van Hollen really missed the mark. And you hear all this stuff about Maryland man, Maryland father. It's almost like they went in and took Mike Brady out of the backyard when he was playing football with Peter and Greg. It's insane to me that they are, but it just shows this Democrats and the Biden administration, every step of the way, they put illegal aliens, their interest ahead of the safety of the American people. And now we have Laken Riley, we have Rachel Moore, and we have Jocelyn Nungry, who would all be alive if they had simply put American safety and did their jobs properly and effectively.
Last one. I want to check up on this. Listen to what the Border Patrol chief said about his agents' morale under Trump. Roll it.
I can tell you right now, the Border Patrol morale is going through the roof. We've had the handcuffs taken off. We're allowed to actually do our job, which is go out and enforce the law. Recruiting is looking great. We're seeing some of our highest numbers ever. Really excited about that because, as you know, during the previous 4 years under the Biden administration, we saw a mass exodus from the Border Patrol, and we saw some of our lowest recruiting numbers. We're seeing the opposite.
I'm not surprised at rising morale. These guys are doing their job.
Yeah, they get to do the job they were hired to do. And these people went into this profession because they want to keep people safe. And now they're able to do so. And the Biden administration treated them so horribly, even falsely accused some of them of whipping migrants. Yeah, so it really, it's such a sea change. And they love President Trump. They love Tom Homan. They love what's going on.
They do indeed. Jonathan Fahey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good stuff.